Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome to another video with me and Sweet Poppy Stencils. I hope you're enjoying our inspiration day, and I hope you've enjoyed some of the inspiration that my other design team members and I have shared over the previous few days. This is a beautiful new release, and here today I'm going to show you this card with the Christmas stag. Isn't he rather grand? I've surrounded him with the holly leaf square stencil, and then I've used a sentiment from the Festive Phrases set. So the other things that you get in that set are Joy to the World. Look at this funky looking Merry Christmas. There's a lovely Festive Wishes stamp. So that's the sentiment. As I say, isn't he rather grand? So the card size is 14 centimeters square. I am going to be using my trusty low tack stencil tape. I'm going to be using a couple of greens in Distress Oxides, that's Mowed Lawn and Twisted Citron. A couple of browns, Brushed Corduroy and Tea Dye. I've got my lovely stencil brushes. And of course my stencil. We will get started. So I've put my 14 centimeters square card onto my magnetic sheet, and I've got my magnets in place. For the stag, you want him he's prancing, so he needs his feet close to the ground and his hooves, his front hooves, he looks like he's prancing, dancing, whatever stags do. Okay, so I've just put a couple of pieces of tape there to hold my base card in place with my magnets onto my stencil. Right, we're going to start with Brushed Corduroy. Just taking a bit off so I just get the feel of how inky my pad is. And I like to use two colours because, look, you can get a whole different look by just varying the tones. The tea dye just adds a slight bit of orange to his coat. So I'm going to start with my Brushed Corduroy, and I'm just going to flick it from the stencil onto my card. What you want to do is make sure that there's a little bit of white space or lighter colour in through the centre of his body. So to that end, I am just bringing this stencil, bringing the colour so yeah, you can see I'm bringing the colour. It's darker on the edge of the body, and I mean, if you're worried, you can tape off the sides, but I think I'm doing okay here. I think I might actually when I start to do the hooves, but I'm rather liking what I've got so far. So that's it. Now I'm going to go in with my tea dye and just, you'll see, just lifts it, brings a slightly different colour to his body. Oh, he's so lovely. I like the size of him too. He's not too big. Perfect for Christmas cards, and I'm really happy with him. Look at him. He's got a more distinct edge where I brought that blending into the edge of the stencil, and he's got a nice sort of coat. Oh, I'm pleased with that. How simple was that? Right, we're going to come in with our holly leaf Now for this, I'm just going to move my tape over here so at least it's holding my card. Because what I don't want to do, let me just see if this will, oh, that's good. There we go. So as you can see in my original, I brought the colour from the back hooves there all the way around to the top here around his front hooves. And you can see I've gone softly, softly as it sort of fades towards his hooves, and then the rest is darker around the rest of him. So I think that will work pretty well. As I've got this tape, I'm going to use the same tape again, just tape it down. So I know it's a bit early, isn't it, to start thinking about Christmas, but not really. Just comes up so quickly, and it's lovely to spend time over your Christmas cards, enjoying those special ones you've got to make. Right, colours. Mowed Lawn, Twisted Citron. I'm going to start with my Mowed Lawn. I always take a bit off here. I'm going to start in the corner, and I'm moving my brush in a circular motion. I'm not going to go over his antlers there. I'm going to leave a bit of, sort of allow it to fade out, if you like, around that. And you can see I'm not going solidly all the way in because I'm going to put my Twisted Citron over that. And what you want to do is bring the colour in towards the centre, but leaving a big patch of white space here because that's what makes it pop. But you do want to sort of cover around these holly leaves. And as I say here, around the back of his hooves, just letting it be softly, softly in. Okay, I'm just going to go, I've just wiped my brush. Actually, I wiped it onto my apron. But you could wipe it on a piece of kitchen towel if you wish, or a cloth. And I'm now just going to come in with my Twisted Citron a bit harder. Twisted Citron is a lovely, almost a luminous green. But certainly Mowed Lawn is that lovely. For me, it's synonymous with Christmas, Mowed Lawn, definitely. Just as Festive Berries is for the reds. Again, I'm going to keep this. Actually, I'm going to do it at the top because it's easier for me to just pop in and see it. That's just going to hold it in place while I have a little peek underneath and see what it looks like. Yes, I like that. And I'm just going to move this out the way so that I can bring, and you can see I'm using the Sweet Poppy matte. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Isn't it lovely? I love it. It's a lovely silicone matte, so you can clean it up really easily with water, and you squish your ink pads on it. Takes all amount of water that you can throw at it. So I am going to stamp this with my stamp press. And before I do that, I'm just going to talk about ink pads, because I am going to be using today one of the, you know that I love VersaFine Clair. It gives you a nice crisp image, sharp images every single time. And there's a whole, there used to be 24 and there are now 36. Isn't that a joy? There's some beautiful colours, and I'm going to be using grass green today. That's one of the new colours. And I just want to show you the previous colours. So we had those three before. We had Verdant, Green Oasis and Shady Lane. Do we need any more greens? Of course. There's Avocado and there's Grass Green. So if I put them all together, you can see how and the colours on the lids are quite close to the actual colour that they stamp. So, and Sweet Poppy Stencils sell them, of course. Right, now, I can't show colours without showing you blues, because you know that I love blues. I know we haven't got blue anywhere near this card, but never mind. So, these were what we had before. Warm Breeze, Bluebell, and Paradise. So these were my two favourites. But now we add in Arctic. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And Barley Blue and Very Perry. Now I know this is purple, but it's sort of, look at it. Doesn't it look stunning? That whole little colour palette. Anyway, enough oohing and ahhing for me. Let's get on with the card. Sorry about that, but I couldn't help myself. We need to just share the love and share the joy, don't we? So here we've got our little stag. We've got our sentiment, which says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. And I think that's a good place to put it, just there. It's going to add balance to the whole card. Just like that. I am going to use my grass green. Now, if you ever were stamping with your stamp press and you were thinking, is that the right colour? Do I really like that? I just want to share with you a little trick that I've always got a piece of acetate very close to my stamping platform. And then I will just stamp on it. And then you can see through it and see exactly where it is and how it looks. Now, actually, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to leave it. And then you can just wipe that off and use it again and again. So I do keep that very close to my Misty for that very purpose. That works really well if you can't decide if you should put splatters on a card or something. Just a piece of acetate. Happy days. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful, crisp green? There we have him. Lovely, lovely, smart stag. As I said, a bit brighter than the original. Now, what I used here was I used little red rhinestones. These ones. And you know what? I've used all my tiny ones. So what shall I do? I shall not go out and buy some more, although I might later. I will look at my stash and I will think, what else do I have? So I've got some gorgeous liquid pearls. This is Carnation Red, a must at Christmas time. And there we go. We're just going to pop a few of these dots in the center of those holly leaves. There's 3 on each. 1 on this one, and you can make them as big or as small as you like. We could even do that one. Oh, look, we're going to town here. Just depends on how you've oriented the stencil. Oh, I actually quite like that better than the original. Wow, look at that. Get rid of this. They do take a couple of minutes to dry, so do take care and do not smudge it. I do hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.